she spends over 360 euros on a first date and the guy doesn't even fucking show.
Peter.
Ladies and gents, we are back. Now, I recently did a podcast last year about women's budget on a first date. I know a guy who knows a guy who works in the model industry. And he's around a lot of models. He 5 days a week, whatever it is. It's his full-time job. And he says to me that, says to the guy, then says to me, that a woman will spend up to 300 euros or dollars on a first date. Now, when I heard this, I was blown back. I went, no, man, come on. No. Really? Then the kind of doubt crept into my mind saying, well, Jesus, could this be true? Could this really be true? You'd spend this much? And what are you spending the money on? And by the way, we're doing a live TikTok here, guys, today, right? Because I want to get some feedback on this. Ladies, what do you spend your money on? If you're going to spend money on any beauty products or anything on a first date, what would you spend it? Would it be your hair, your nails, makeup, new dress? Let me know here, please, on TikTok. We'll come back to you there now in a second. Hopefully we'll get some feedback on this. Now, guys, I actually did a podcast on this last year. 300 euro. I even remember it. 300 euro on a first date. I even did a podcast on this. But I'm going again here because there's a couple of things to talk about anyway, but this is interesting. As many of you may or may not know, I have those dating groups on Facebook. So there was a guy here. He matches with a girl on the dating groups, whatever it is, a few weeks ago, whatever. He goes on a date with a girl from these groups. And I actually saw this guy in town recently. Now, I don't know the guy. And he said, hey, man, good work. Hey, nicely done, man. Congratulations. It's nice to see that somebody's putting out these new dating groups. I went, oh, well, thanks very much, man. And I said, did you meet anybody? And he says, oh, yeah, actually, I did. I just came on a date there, man. What was it, a couple of days ago or whatever? And he was sitting with the girl, and he actually heard my podcast on this 300 budget thing. He said that he brought it up with the girl on the night of the date. She said, oh, I listened to that guy Peter's podcast thing, and he was talking about 300 euro budget. He knew a guy that knows a guy, etc., etc. And he said, is it true? And she goes, well, I wouldn't spend 300, but I'd spend maybe 150, maybe half that, 150, 200. So he's actually kind of blown away. He's like, whoa. As in, whoa, what the hell? But she spent it on hair and makeup. Now, he was kind of like me. I was just saying this before we went live here on the podcast. I was saying it to the TikTok people here that I was saying that I'd feel guilty if a girl told me this. And I'm serious. I honestly, and this isn't a negative thing about me or men or women. I just don't think anybody, man or woman, nobody's worth spending 300 euro on a first date. I mean, what happens if Peter doesn't show up on the first date? Seriously, girl goes out, spends 300 euro. Half an hour before the fucking date, Peter texts her, hey, Mary, whoever. Mary, listen, I'm sorry, I can't make it tonight. Something's come up, or oh my God, this or that, right? Or what if Peter just doesn't show up and he doesn't text her? Like, what if I just didn't text her? I mean, that's happened to me before, where I was going on a date with a girl. She's got my phone number. She's got my WhatsApp. She could easily send me a fucking text. And I think a lot of people can agree it's fucking annoying spending your energy to go out of your way to go meet the fucking person. And all of a sudden, then they don't even show up. They don't even show up. So, like, where do you go with this? And then 300 euro. I mean, can you imagine how shitty you'd feel if the person didn't show up? In fact, I remember it was even at the start of, no, it wasn't at the start of lockdown. It was about a couple of months when things were kind of relaxing a bit in 2020 and people were starting to go on dates again and things like this. So I can't remember the month now, but I had 2 dates lined up in 2020, in the space of about a week and a half, and 2 of those girls didn't show up and didn't text me to say they're not going to show up. Nothing. And can you imagine if I went off and I decided to buy a new blazer, €300 blazer, or, I got a new hat, or I got new jeans, or fucking shoes, whatever it is, and all of a sudden she doesn't show up? Now, okay, I could use it for another date, maybe, fair enough, but if I'm going out to use that money for this girl to impress her like this, I'm going home feeling pretty shit, man. I'm going home feeling pretty shit. Horrendous. And what if Peter does show up for the date and he's just an asshole? And like, wow, Jennifer spends €300 for a prick that shows up on the date? Or, a nasty woman, like, all right. How much would you say, guys? How much would you say? Connor, go to therapy, bro. Cheers, Connor. How much would you say? I mean, I could understand if it was 50 quid, 100 quid. 100 quid's steep, man, isn't it still? Because, look, I get it. You could still use this money for another date or some event that you have going on soon. So it's not the end of the world here if you do buy the €50 boots or the shirt, whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? Riri, good morning. What's the topic? It is... Good morning, Riri. It is the budget a woman spends on a first date. I was told before, €300, $300, whichever way you want to go on that one. And we're lashing this out here. And there was a guy listening to my podcast recently. I did one about this last year. He basically went on a date and he was asking the girl, he said that, I listened to that Peter Walsh's podcast about €300 on a first date. Is this true? She said it was about half the price, €150, €200 she'd spend. And I don't know, is there anybody else here that's on here that would feel guilty if the other person spent this much money on you on a date? And I'm coming from a humble place here. Jesus. $300, man. €300. What are you buying with that? Wow. Okay. And I got another story here as well. Boyfriend admits to his girlfriend he wants to sleep with dudes now. Yeah, we're going to get into that in a second. But before we do here, hang on. Oh, there's some good feedback coming in here. Luke is bad form. Just have to tell yourself you had a lucky escape. Absolutely. George, hello. Hey, George, if you're still on. Lauda or Hunt? Lauda. You should check out that movie Rush, by the way. It's a good show. Sharon, what you spend on yourself to get ready for date? Oh, what do I spend? Honestly, I'm not buying new clothes. Good question. Why don't we talk about this? I don't think I've ever spent money for a first date. In terms, that sounds bad, does it? In terms of, I'm not going to go out and buy a new shirt, a new pants, a new pair of shoes, a new blazer. I'm not doing any of that. I either have what I have. I've got some nice blazers and tops and jackets and all that. So I'll put those on. You take the shower before. You might have the second shower, third shower even that day. Make sure you're smelling good. You look good as best as you can. Put on the blazer. Pull on your good stuff. 100%. But no, I have never spent extra money on a first date. And again, it's like that, what if she doesn't show up? What if she's a bitch? But because men can be bastards too. What if she is? Robert here, 35, single man from Ireland, serious relationships within Ireland. Riri, I got my hair done. Okay, here we go. €150. €150, Jesus. Nails, €45. Makeup, 60. New dress, 60. And boots, 50. And he stood me up. You see there? Oh, Christ. Riri, I'm sorry to hear that. But you see, that's what I was just saying there a minute ago. What if the person doesn't fucking show up? What if they don't show up? But so how much did you spend? So you spent 150 195, 255, 310, 315, sorry. Oh my god. 365 euros. Jesus. 365 euros and he stood you up. I'm sorry to hear that, Riri. Will you see? But at least, look, you can wear it for something else anyway, right? You know? And look, I understand that too. You can also use the clothes for something else as well. It's not all about the guy or the girl here. So it's not going to go to waste, at least that. But, yeah. Like, you're going home pissed off. And what makes matters worse, even if you didn't spend the money and the person showed up, or sorry, didn't show up, you're going home pissed off. But then it just makes everything worse knowing that you spent this money and now all of a sudden, oh my god, I've spent this money now and the motherfucker didn't show up. You kidding me? Jesus. Maria says here on TikTok, it's the time and effort in getting ready. Yeah, it's a good point. It is. Very good point. And let's see. Lucas, I think you're as well off going for a walk and have a chat. Yeah, that's not... You see, that's a good first date, I think. I've done that. I've gone for a walk and a stroll with a girl. Had a great time, actually. You know, had a great time. Very relaxing. It was just something simple. Nothing wrong with that. You know, and has anybody shown up in, like, I've never done that, I don't think, have I? No. I've never shown up in a t-shirt and tracksuit and or sweatpants. Never done that. Omega on TikTok here. Why do people dislike lazy people? I mean, we didn't even do anything. Oh, I remember that. That's a good one. I remember you said that to me last week. It is a good one. LA, my hair was 200. Oh, good lord. How much are women spending on hair these days? Whoa. Good lord. 200 quid. Me, I spend getting my hair cut. What do I spend? I spend 15 quid. But actually, I'll just tip the girl. I'll give her 20. So I'm spending 20 quid for a haircut. And that's, well, it's not expensive. It's not cheap. It's just what it is, I suppose, really. These days, for a guy, yeah, I guess. What do you think, anybody else? Okay, let's have a look. There's other people. Oh my god. Riri, 365 euros, my first date after 25 years marriage. Oh, Jesus. That's even worse, Riri. Sorry to hear that. Good God. Coconut. People should split the cost on a first date. Uh-oh. Here we go. We're going to talk about this too as well on a first date. Let's get through that before we go to the guy who's announcing to his girlfriend that he wants to sleep with men now. Jesus. Lord God. I feel bad for that girl. Fuck. Okay, so let's talk about that. We were talking about that just before we went live on the podcast. I'm an old school guy myself, I have to admit. I'm asking a girl out. I'm the one paying for the dinner or the drinks. Yeah, it would be cool if a girl offered to buy one, because at least then it shows that she's not out for just all the free booze or the free dinner. It still doesn't mean that she's totally into you. It could just mean she's polite, which is nice. But at least it kind of gives a guy, and maybe that's a good tip, ladies, if anybody's going on a first date with a guy here, you know. It is nice when a girl does offer to buy even just one drink, one coffee. It is nice. At least then that little voice in the back of our head is not saying, oh, she's just looking for free booze. And that happens quite a lot with us men. I still think, though, 99% of us should be buying the girl the drink or dinner or whatever it is. I personally think that myself. Call me old-fashioned, old school, grand, I don't care. That's the way I would do it. I can understand if people want to go 50-50. I did have one girl already I went on a date with before. Everything was all cool until she was actually counting the amount of rounds we got. We decided just to go for drinks. I think we got 6 rounds in, right? Quite a lot for a first date, but we're having a good time. And then she insisted she's getting me the next 6. I went, whoa. I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to be drinking 6 here. I'm not sure. But look, okay, buy me 1. She goes, no. Listen, if we do go out again on a second date, which we didn't, if we do go out on a second date, It's on me, okay? I need to get 6. I went, there's no need for this. I asked you out. She goes, no, I like to be independent, this and that. I'm like, ladies, I get it if you want it. Just remember this. This isn't... For me, it wasn't about me trying to control the woman, that she owes me anything. It was none of that for me. And okay, I understand, excuse me, there'd be a couple of guys out there that would be like that. I get that. They'd use it to their advantage, but not every guy's like this. Not every guy. So, Coconut, people should split the cost on a first date. Well, hey, look, that's cool too. That's cool too, if that's what it is. But just remember that. It's not every guy's going to use it as a control mechanism to get you, you know? And TikTok here, Maria, obviously she didn't look like her picture if she had to get everything done. Okay. Sharon, walk in a glass of wine. Walk in a glass of wine. Not bad. Nice summer's day. Go for a stroll. Stop in a wine bar maybe. That's not a bad old first date. Coconut, I never thought of that. A walk sounds nice. And a coffee. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Such a simple thing. Such a simple thing. And I don't know if you heard it, but I've done it myself. I've gone for a stroll with a girl. It was great fun. Great fun. And it's kind of different because you don't expect it, you know? Okay, let's have a look. Some of the other comments here. And if he asks you, let him stay in his masculine energy and pay. First date? Pay? I'm not sure I get that. Coconut, you're so nice, Peter. I hope she does buy the drinks. Oh, well, thanks, Coconut. Well, that was a date like years ago. But again, like we just saw poor old Riri there. She spends over 360 euros on a first date, and the guy doesn't even fucking show. You know, I think we've all been there, haven't we? Where we've had people not show up on a first date. I've been there, Lord knows, Christ. Riri, I intended to go 50-50. Well, Jesus, if you're spending 360 quid on a first date, I'd hope that the guy's going to be buying you a few fucking drinks. You know what I mean? Jesus. Now, I get it, you know, you don't want to obviously announce it to the guy. Hey, listen, buddy, I spent fucking 360 quid on this fucking date, no motherfucking, are you fucking... You know, I get that too. I get that. You know, you would probably be shouting in your head, like, this motherfucker, he's a tight ass and he spent 300 fucking quid. I'd be the exact same. God. Maria, a lot of guys do. Lucas, she probably knew there wouldn't be a second date. Who, I'm not sure if, can't remember who we're speaking about there now. Anybody else on TikTok here? I mean, it's good, guys, getting some live feedback, because even the last podcast we spoke about with this 300 euro budget for a first date, I never got live feedback, so this is good, I think. We're getting real-time feedback. Lucas, I find going for a walk is more casual than sitting face-to-face, like interviewing. Fair point. It does give you a distraction in a good way, a good distraction. Mac on TikTok, I always insist on 50-50. And if there's pints, I insist on rounds. Fair enough, Mac. Just remember though, Mac, just remember though, I don't know how much of this you've heard, but a lot of us guys, we don't use money to control you. Of course, there's going to be some guys out there that they'll insist on buying all the rounds, all the dinner, because they're hopefully going to think then that, you know, you owe them something, but it's not a lot of guys. I honestly don't think it is. I'm going to assume in a good way that it's not. Okay? Certainly not me. Certainly not guys I know. Definitely not. Sharon, walking a drink lowers expectations and takes stress out of it. Far more chilled. Yeah, I see. Okay, guys, I think this is good, right? We're getting some ideas here for a first date. I mean, I've been trying to rack my brain for the last year and a half on and off that, okay, is there any good dating ideas? People have emailed in asking. Anybody got any suggestions? Because they're trying to either impress the guy or girl, or they just want to keep things more relaxed with the guy or girl. They don't know where to go with it. But do you know what? That's right up there. Even I'm thinking about this. You see, again, another reason why I like this live TikTok. You don't know where the conversation's going to go here. I like this walk business here. was about, I don't know, about a year and a half ago when I did this. Probably about a year and a half ago. Yeah, it was great. It was great. It was good fun. Good fun. Riri, I very rarely go out. It's scary out there. Weird chat up lines. Yeah, well, there is. Listen, sure, there's always guys out there that have got very bad chat up lines. That was before after coronavirus. Let's be honest. It's not exactly great there. Mac on TikTok. In my experience, the guy always expects something in return if they pay fully. Oh, I'm going to jump into there now, Mac. Okay, well, look. You're on the receiving end. Fair enough. You're the girl here. Okay, I can't speak 100% on this. You know, I was just saying a second ago anyway. But in your experience, the guy always... So you're saying 100% of the guys are like this? That seems a bit of a stretch, don't we think here? I mean, I'm not having a go at you. I gotta jump in though and say, come on, it can't be 100%. Because I'm certain it can't be 100% because I am not one of them. So that means it's not 100%. You know? But okay, you've had some bad experiences. I'm saying in her experience. Fair enough. Christ. Jesus. You see, I think when it comes to guys here, right? We're not, again, I can't speak for every guy. We're not expecting sex. Let's just say the guy goes on a first date, he just wants to hook up, and he wants sex. The ultimate goal, he doesn't want anything more. All right, let's just throw it on the table here. I honestly think most of these guys are not expecting sex at the end of the night. They're hoping for sex at the end of the night. Now, that's a big, big difference here. Because the guy hoping, well, you know, he's not going to be putting pressure. He's not going to, do you know what I mean? He's not going to turn around in shock, like, what the hell? What the hell? And when we think there's hope, that means we don't know if we're going to get it or not. Therefore, it's hard to know how this is going to go. So we're half expecting that the girl might not give us the sex. Do you see where I'm going with this? Like, if we have the hope, we know there's a chance, very consciously, that it might not work out, that we're going to get what we want. And I'm not saying every guy's like that. Absolutely not, of course. Of course. Laura on TikTok, I think now I'm not sure what that means. Age gap in my sisters? Accept age gap in my sisters? Something big age gap between me and my sister. She says it's normal. I have no idea what you're saying here, Laura. I'm sorry. Maria on TikTok. Well, if you don't put out, you know you're going to be blocked the next day. Okay. All right. Well, isn't this a good thing to weed out the dicks and the bitches? Let's be honest. There's both on either side here. Isn't it a good thing to finally see their cards as fast as you can? You don't waste the third or fourth date. How many times do I say this on social media posts? How many times have I said this on the podcast even? I think it's a good thing. You gotta go through the crap to find Mr. Right, Mrs. Right, whatever it is. I think it's a good thing. Do you know? It's a good thing. Let them show their hand. I think that's the way to go. It's the way to go, right? You know? Now, I want to jump on actually, guys, on the next story here. This might have happened to you before. Well, this happened to me. Well, sort of-ish, actually. You'll know what I mean in a second. So, actually, no, it exactly happened to me. What am I saying? So, I just put up a social media post on TikTok there a while ago. Girlfriend's got a boyfriend. The boyfriend turns around and says he wants to sleep with men, have an open relationship. This is not out of bed here. This stuff is happening day in, day out, all the time. Now, this happened to me, where I had an ex-girlfriend. She wanted to go to a sex club, and I did not. No way on earth. And she wanted to get it on with women. And I'm thinking, where the hell is she going with this? And I'm telling you guys, it is so... what's the word? Well, it's soul destroying, that's for sure. and you know that you're only just a number now, she wants someone else. Like, that's such a horrible feeling, especially when she hasn't even seen the next girl that's going to come along. Do you know what I mean? She wanted to go to Paris and go to a sex club over there. I'm not joking you here, by the way. So, like, she doesn't even know what this girl's going to look like. Like, that's even worse. You know? If there's some Angelina Jolie type or God knows who walked up, you know, and you're like, holy shit. Like, you'd understand, well, God, Angelina Jolie, she's making women turn gay. You know, you'd understand that a bit more. But I get where this girl's coming from. She's heartbroken. She's devastated now after this. Devastated. And she doesn't know where to go. And this guy all of a sudden wants to sleep with men. Oh, really, man? You're straight, but you're curious. Let's put it out there now, ladies and gentlemen. Let's put it out there right here, right now. There is no such thing as a straight man who wants to go experiment with men. Okay? And I'm talking about a fully functional straight man. Now, there's fully functional bisexual men, fully functional gay men, yes. But 100% straight man has zero interest in sleeping with other men. Alright? There's no curious thing, experimenting. It's so cool, man. Load of bollocks. Load of absolute bollocks. And I know that for a fact because I'm 100% straight and I've never once in my life wanted to actually go and sleep with a dude. You know? Never. So this guy, I've got a sneaky suspicion this guy's gay. And I would probably go 85, 90%. Oh, fuck, that's probably even low. That this guy's gay. And he's just coming out of the closet now. You just don't go there, man. You just don't go there. He's obviously, I think this guy's obviously, he must be banging away men behind her back anyway. He's just covering his ass now. He doesn't want to get caught. He doesn't want to have the fear of getting caught. So he's like, screw this. You know what? I'm in the closet as it is. I don't want to be in the closet too much. At least if she's around, I can pretend that she's my girlfriend and I love her and I'm straight and all this bollocks. You know? Crazy stuff, guys. Crazy stuff. So if you're ever in that pickle, if you ever get into that situation where your boyfriend or girlfriend all of a sudden wants to sleep with the same sex, yeah, get out of there quick. It didn't last long for me anyway, I can tell you that. Jesus. And Sharon, yes, but all she needs to say is, I'm worth waiting for. Mac, he should have been honest about that from the start. And taking an STI test, yeah, no two ways about it. Jesus. Sharon, no, they would consider another gal. Okay, maybe we're still talking about the first option. But guys, you know, I feel bad for this girl. What's she going through now? See, the problem for her is she might be feeling so worthless that now it's almost she needs to get the approval from this guy now. She needs to chase it now because then it'll make her feel a little bit better of this absolute dagger to her heart, man, that he wants to go sleep with dudes now. Good God. Good God. And I'll tell you too, guys, and I've had this experience the other way around. Like, men, as we all know, men get turned on by a woman being with another woman. Yeah, I get it. All right? It is a turn on. But let me tell you here, right now. You got a girlfriend you want to actually make things work with? It ain't a turn on. And I didn't go there, thank God. And I tell you this, if you do go there, and if anybody's thinking about this, by the way, okay, if you are in this situation right here, right now, and if you decide to go with this, but you're not sure, listen to that voice in your head. It's saying, oh, I don't know, this is not good, this is not good, this is not good, this is not good. Listen to that. And you know what that is? Because you know you're not worthy enough for that other person in their head, right? Doesn't mean you're not who you are. And do you really think watching the other person get it on with someone else right in front of you is going to turn you on? It's going to kill you. It could be a turn on for about 10 seconds until you have an orgasm, okay? Let's call it that. And after that, do you think you're going to sleep at night okay? Knowing that they want someone else? Maybe you will. Look, maybe I'm wrong on that one. Maybe I'm off my game. But not for me, man. Not for me. No way. No way. Because you'd be judging. Oh, she doesn't kiss me like that. Geez, she's really getting into it. She's never gone on this turned down with me. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, back to the TikToks. Let's have a look. Sharon. We'd love to have him come. I'd even match with you, Peter, and see how it works. I'm not sure if that means Cormac. Voyager, isn't that what they call it? Cormac, can you explain more? Voyager? Or maybe I'm missing a conversation here. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know, guys. Not a good idea to go venturing down the road. I mean, if you've got a girlfriend or boyfriend that you're not interested in anymore, which you shouldn't be with them anyway, for Christ's sake, but if you decide to do it, well, I mean, isn't it okay then, I guess, to go off and sleep with other people and let them know, or they can watch you? Okay, fine. If that floats your boat. But if you love the person, you want to make it work, it ain't gonna happen. You're going to be constantly comparing yourself to that person they slept with you right in front of you. Do you know? Sharon, you missed Marie saying you should come to events. I'm not sure what event it is, guys. I'm sorry. Can you expand more? And Maria, Peter, you should go to Sharon's night out. What is this night out, Sharon? If you can let me know, please. Maybe I can also let the other people on the Facebook and anybody listening to the podcast on TikTok here, what event it is. Maybe we can help as well. But if I'm available, I would be definitely interested if I'm available. But I have to see, of course. So, yeah, guys, I think we'll probably leave it there. Now, I'll stay on TikTok after this, guys, for a few, and I'll answer any questions you have. But I hope you enjoyed the podcast today, guys. Short and sweet. Hope there was a couple of useful things. If you do, go bringing a girl out on a night out, or if you are a girl, a couple of things out of this. If you are a girl going on a night out and the guy buys you all the drinks, it does not mean he's assuming you're going to sleep with him, okay? Don't assume that about every guy. There's going to be some, of course, but not every guy's like that. And he may hope to sleep with you, but it doesn't mean he's going to expect it or it's going to be handed to him on a plate here. All right? Not every guy's like this. And if he's an old schooler and if he wants to pay for all the stuff, cool. But if you're one of these 50-50s, well, look, if he wants to pay, let him pay. And if you're not feeling comfortable, well, then don't. That's fine. But definitely buy him a drink back. That's what I would say. You know? And to any of the lads listening to this, definitely, man, stick that in the pocket. Go old school, man. Go old school. And last lesson here, really, take it from my episodes before. If you've got a boyfriend or girlfriend and they come around to you and say that they want an open relationship and sleep with the same sex, there's something very wrong here. And if you decide to have a threesome with them, I'm telling you now, even if you're the one benefiting from this, in other words, you're dying to sleep with your wife's best friend and they're all up for it, it ain't gonna end pretty for anybody, because she's gonna be thinking about you sticking your thing in, right? You're gonna be thinking about her getting it on with the other person. There's no healthy ending to any of that. No healthy ending. Anyway, I will leave the podcast now. Guys, I'll stay on TikTok here. And thanks for listening, guys. And we'll be back again with more podcasts. Bye-bye. Peter. Walsh.